Greetings everyone, this is Vakar Kavi from TFT Perspective and today I'm going to discuss about India-Canada role which now is becoming very serious and Indian government is being called to have been involved officially in sending death squads and thugs to foreign lands to assassinate Canadian and American citizens. So this is very serious. There have been cases of India doing it in South Asia as well as within the homeland, and we have seen how RSS has used death squads to silence the dissenting voices. But now the case is becoming international. Uh, a recent report published in the CNN alleges that uh, now Canadian officials are pointing fingers at Indian Home Minister Mr. Amit Shah and basically for ordering a campaign of violence, intimidation, and intelligence gathering against the Sikh community, especially Sikhs who are activists supporting the Khalistan movement. And that is, I think, allowed in North America that you can have your opinion on different issues. In the same report, it is mentioned that Deputy Foreign Minister of Canada, David Morrison, told Parliament members of the National Security Committee that he had confirmed Shah's name to the Washington Post. The report was also published in the Washington Post. So this is now officially not only within the Canadian government circle, but also coming in mainstream media in the North America. As you remember, last year, Prime Minister of Canada, Mr. Justin Trudeau, had stated that Canada had credible evidence that agents of the Indian government were involved in murder of Canadian Sikh activist Hardeep Singh Nijjar in British Columbia. That was in June 2023. And this came at the heel of G20 summit in India. And just after returning from India, Justin Trudeau then on the floor of the House in Canadian Parliament mentioned that he had communicated it and shared the information with the Indian Prime Minister as well. And then I think came the report by Five Eyes, which was confirmed by US, Canadian intelligence, Australian intelligence, UK-based intelligence, as well as New Zealand. So Five Eyes, basically shares signal intelligence. And now they have, I think, almost 30 intelligence agencies from these five Anglophone countries. Canadian authorities have also repeatedly mentioned that they have shared the evidence with the Indian authorities, and somehow India has gone into a denial mode, and then we saw diplomatic row heating up. Indian government officials have repeatedly denied Canada has provided evidence and called the delegation absurd. So this is, I think, very funny. India's embassy in Ottawa didn't immediately respond to messages for a request for comments on the allegations against Amit Shah. Now this is, people are asking, the media is asking, but they are very quiet. On October 14th, and we discussed it, I think, in one of the podcasts, Canada expelled the Indian High Commissioner and 5 other diplomats. And mind you, when you say diplomats, probably that includes the undercover research analysis wing operators as well, alleging that they were persons of interest in multiple cases of coercion, intimidation, and violence aimed at quietening a campaign for an independent Sikh state known as Khalistan. So this was again. Then jumps in the US. Canada is not the only country. US Justice Department announced criminal charges in mid-October against an Indian government employee in connection with an alleged foiled plot to kill Sikh separatist leader, mainly Gurpatan Singh Pannu, who is also kind of convener of Sikhs for Justice. He's a lawyer and he's been very vocal. He's also running the Khalistan referendum campaign, and now I think probably it's taking place in New Zealand. In the case announced by the Justice Department, Vikash Yadav, and I don't know why a lot of Yadavs are involved in, terrorism and, running death squad. We had Kulbhushan Yadav caught in Pakistan and now Mr. Vikash Yadav. So I don't know why research analysis wing would use Yadav. There must be some, I think, secret about it. Who authorities say directed the New York plot from India. Faces murder for higher charges in a planned killing that prosecutors have previously said was meant to precede a string of other politically motivated murders in the United States and Canada. So it means that there are other cases as well. Recently, I think two major things have happened. One is that Trudeau's National Security Advisor, Nathalie Durin, has told the committee that Canada has evidence the Indian government first gathered information on Indian nationals and Canadian citizens in Canada through diplomatic channels and proxies. So it means that they have a network which was being run. She said the information was passed to the government in New Delhi which allegedly works a criminal network affiliated with Lawrence Bishnoi. And we know that Lawrence Bishnoi was also involved in murder of Sidhu Moosewala, again a Sikh singer. Then recently we had a Muslim politician assassinated in Maharashtra, right in the posh area of Mumbai. And basically, Bishnoi is currently in prison in India. And our assessment is that Bishnoi is not a common person. I think that is the figurehead research analysis wing has now. And he operates from prison and he's so powerful. It is said that he has about 700 hitmen within India and abroad who just, assassinate people on one of his chits or one of his message. Mainly now, Canada has officially said that Bishnoi was involved in that. So it means research analysis wing is definitely involved. We have also seen the Royal Canadian Mounted Police or RCMP, which went public, and we've seen their commissioner coming up on the media and alleging that Indian diplomats were persons of interest in criminal investigations. Druin has mentioned that there was an effort to work with the Indian government to ensure accountability. So things are really bad for Indian diplomacy and its credibility abroad. Druin also pointed out that she, in a meeting held with Modi's National Security Advisor, Ajit Doval in Singapore, also communicated. And then Ajit Doval was, somewhat, he at least apparently displayed that he was confused and didn't know what was Bishnoi gang doing. There's also, I think, another major issue coming up in North America, and this relates to deportation of illegal Indians. And it has now become a very serious problem. If you go into research, think as it's an enormous problem. Already in North America, especially US and Canada, illegal immigration is a major problem. It's also becoming a major issue during the campaign between Trump and Kamala Harris. And if you look at US actions taken so far, one, they have arrested almost 97,000 illegal Indians in past 1 year, and a deportation has started. So recently we saw, I think, a plane, 2 or 3 plane load of Indian illegal immigrants were thrown out and they were sent back to Delhi. I think the number is about 1,100. If you look at Trump's campaign, again, he said that he's going to go into a massive deportation drive against the illegal immigrants. And if you look at the Indians in the United States, it's 776,000. So this is a huge number, almost touching 1 million. And on one side, we have, Shining India and Make in India and all those campaign and Vishwa Guru. On the other side, we have seen mass exodus of Indians taking place from India to Middle East, to Europe, and even to North America. And they travel, treacherous passes and mountains and distances. And at times, they have even used illegal, flights to land up in US. Arrested illegal immigrants in India, in US and Canada is now becoming a serious problem. Now we come to a response from the Indian media. As far as Godi media is concerned, they, I think, for last 2 years were boasting that yes, we have Dutch Scots like Gaurav Arya, which I don't regard him to be a strategist, but at least he represents, let's say the right wing or the RSS's Godi media. He had been openly boasting, especially against Sikh community and also Kashmiri community in Pakistan, that yes, hum ghus ke marenge, and Modi does that. And he actually said that he named, some of the Sikh activists that they'll be assassinated. And now the Godi media has gone into a denial mode. Looking at the opposition, or let's say the liberal media, we have a tweet from Swasini Heather on Canadian Indian diplomatic raw. She says that Canada alleges Home Minister Amit Shah ordered campaign targeting Sikh separatists. And then we have a very interesting comment from Subramanian Swamy, who's been critical of Modi's high-handedness, the way he has actually appeased China, and now also affecting India-North America relations. He says that it's very, very serious charge. Either Modi defends openly Amit Shah, or the BJP asks Shah to step down from Home Minister post till it is cleared by the government. So I think this is very, very serious, and Indian government needs to clean the house. And if you have such high level of people involved, so it means that there is an official patronage. There are also death squads being run by the RSS itself, and then in collaboration with intelligence agencies like NIA or the Intelligence Bureau. We have seen in past, 15 years, gruesome murders of Gauri Lankesh, Professor Dabulkar, Pansare. Then we also witnessed the murder of Hemant Karkare, who was a very senior police officer who had basically conducted some of the inquiries and solved the serial bombing cases in Thane, Vashi, and Panvel, and then led to the investigation of Maligaon blast. And he proved it that were not done by Muslims, it was basically Sanatan Sanstha and gangs like Abhinav Bharat. And we also know there was some Colonel Prohit involved. And he was assassinated during so-called Mumbai terrorist attacks, and it is alleged that he was taken out by Indian intelligence. So it means that India within and outside have death squads. And basically, Sanatan Sanstha, Abhinav Bharat, and Bishnoi gangs are branches of the same RSS thug enterprise. Now we come to the final question. If that be the case, that within India and outside, Indian government officials are involved. So I'll actually point out four ministries which are now officially entangled in running death squads. So we have the Ministry of External Affairs, because in Canada it was being done through Indian High Commission. In US it was being done through Indian Embassy in Washington DC. Then you have the Home Department, which basically involves Amit Shah, because he controls the death squads within India. Then we have the Defense Department and Rajnath Singh, or the Ministry of Defense, which basically was involved in sending those eight senior retired naval officers to Qatar, and they were sabotaging their submarine program and leaking secrets. And finally, it goes to Mr. G. Doval, who coordinates all such activities, and he's considered as 007 or James Bond of India. So it means that four senior ministries are involved. And in case they are involved, then it means Mr. Modi, who is the epicenter of such decision making, is involved. So that's why I think Indian government is reluctant, because in case you start formal investigation, serious investigation, I think the lead is going to take it to Modi's office or the Prime Minister office in India. So I think international community needs to dig further and take India to task. And in the region, all countries should be very, very careful, because now officially Indian government has been charged with running death squads. Thank you very much.